Wow, what a legendary moment this is for Crosshair in Star Wars The Bad Batch, Season 2, Episode 12, called The Outpost. In this episode, Crosshair meets and befriends a fellow clone named Mayday. Both Mayday and Crosshair are sent on a mission to retrieve some supply crates for the Empire, but unfortunately, during this mission, Mayday is critically injured. But Crosshair refuses to leave him behind, and he carries him through all the harsh winter weather in the barren, snowy wasteland to get him all the way back to the Imperial base, only to have a complete piece of shit named Lieutenant Nolan coldly refuse to provide any kind of medical aid to Mayday, claiming that that would be a waste of the Empire's resources, and claiming that clones are expendable and only to be used while they're useful and then to be discarded like junk after their usefulness has come to an end. As a result, Mayday perishes as Crosshair watches helplessly. This right here is the turning point for Crosshair, where he finally realizes truly how evil the Empire is, and realizes that they've never cared about him or any of his fellow clone brothers. All along, he's been going along with the Empire, even doing evil things simply because he believed the right thing to do was to follow orders. He believed that good soldiers followed orders. But this is where he finally realizes that that's wrong, and that he needs to consider morality for himself, and he needs to be able to make his own decisions independently. And he can't blindly follow orders anymore like he always has. And in this moment, he decides to finally take action against the Empire. He uses the little strength he has left to get to his feet, and he calls out, "Lieutenant." Lieutenant Nolan slowly turns around as he's walking away at this point. He slowly turns around just to see Crosshair aiming his blaster right at his chest. Crosshair pulls the trigger and deals a fatal blow to Lieutenant Nolan, killing him with one shot. What a legendary moment this is for so many reasons. One, of course, it's just wonderful to see Lieutenant Nolan die. I literally pumped my fist in the air and screamed, "Fuck yeah," right in front of the TV when it happened. So wonderful to have Lieutenant Nolan dead. He's obviously a horrible person. It's great to see him gone, so he can't do this to anyone else. But then, of course, this is great. I would say much more importantly because this is Crosshair finally taking action against the Empire and starting to work for good. It's the first step on a much better path for him, so he can work to become a better version of himself. Hopefully, rejoin the Bad Batch later down the line. But this is where he's finally become independent, finally broken free of the indoctrination that the Empire had over him, and he's finally become a better person. Because let's be honest, when we first meet Crosshair in the Clone Wars, he's a complete dick, and he doesn't care about anybody, really, other than himself. He's a very selfish person who's very cold, and he's not personable at all. But through all these experiences in the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch, we see him grow, and we see him meet people like Mayday who have a great influence on him for the better, and where he becomes a better person and develops. And this is really peak Star Wars, where we get to see characters develop right before us over the course of many episodes and seasons and movies of Star Wars content. And these characters, we grow to love them because they basically grow up right in front of our eyes. We get to kind of go on this journey with them. And we've gotten to do that with Crosshair. And it's been wonderful. What a great character arc for him it's been. And at the time I'm recording this episode, The Outpost, is the most recent episode. But I'm sure we'll get to see more development moving forward. But regardless of what happens, no matter what happens with Crosshair, this moment will always be legendary to me. It's just a sign that even some of the most blinded people can be turned back to the light side. And it's a good thing to see that someone like Crosshair does still have light inside of him, and that he can work for better to help oppose the Empire and hopefully rejoin the Bad Batch later down the line. So what a legendary moment this is for so many reasons. Getting rid of Lieutenant Nolan, and for Crosshair finally setting himself back on a good path in his life. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Thank you all so much for watching. Definitely let me know down in the comments section below what your thoughts are on this moment, and then Crosshair as a character in the past, now, and moving forward. And thank you all so much for watching.